Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Cassandra would like to introduce you to Jordan Marvin. I think the main lesson from this video is do your homework when you meet someone new online, and we're going to do quite a bit as we go through this video. Hello Cassandra, he said.
Good evening, said Cassandra. How are you doing? Thanks for responding to my request. It's my pleasure to meet you. It's jolly nice to meet you too, said Cassandra. So tell me, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? I live near Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk, she said. That's in England. Where are you? Nice place, he said. Well, I'm from Denmark, but currently stay in Houston, Texas. So tell me, what's your marital status, if you don't mind me asking? I'm single, she said. Do you actually live in Houston? Yes, he said. I live in Houston, and I'm a widower. I have a little granddaughter named Cindy. So tell me, how long have you been on Facebook, if you don't mind me asking? I don't know, said Cassandra. Why do you want to know? Just wanted to know, he said. And of course the reason he's asking is he's trying to work out if hers is a new account set up by a fellow scammer. No harm, he added. I've been on for a couple of years, but off and on. Why do you think I want to know that? Asked Cassandra. How old are you? Thinking she was talking to a teenager. Well, obviously, she almost certainly was talking to a teenager. Why have you been hard on me? He asked, like a teenager. Just seems such an odd thing to be telling me, she said. I just want to be friends with you, and I mean no harm. I'm 58, said our 18-year-old. What about you? I'm 62, said Cassandra. Well, I'm a very sincere person, family and friends, and who laugh easily, love to tease, and be teased, and who communicate openly and honestly. That'll be a first. Age is just a number to me. I'm afraid I don't understand that, said Cassandra. Are you saying your family and friends laugh easily? I'm just telling you the king of person I am, he said. And why are you afraid? I'm just a friend. Don't you use that expression in the US? Asked Cassandra. I meant I love family and friends, he said. How long have you lived in Houston? Asked Cassandra. 6 years now, he said. I was living in Farmingdale, New York, and I still have my 3-bedroom house there. When did you move from Denmark? Asked Cassandra. When I was 21. A long time ago, she said. And he's going to contradict himself in a minute. My dad moved us to California due to work. Yes. Why did you say you're from Denmark but currently staying in Houston if you've lived in the US for most of your life? Yes, because I'm originally from Denmark, so I had to tell you that way. So you tried to pretend you haven't been in the US for very long, then decided to tell me you've lived there for most of your life. No, I also lived in Germany with my uncle. When? Asked Cassandra. My dad took me there before leaving for California. When? She asked again. How old were you? I was 20, he said. Remember, he's just told her he left Denmark when he was 21. Hey, Jolly, he said in the middle of the night, UK time. You lived in Germany for a whole year, said Cassandra. I think that takes us back to what I originally said. You pretended that you're currently staying in the US when you've actually been there for most of your life, apart from 20 years in Denmark and 1 year in Germany, and I'm not impressed that you think your father took you to Germany when you were an adult, where you were a wimpish baby. You're getting me all wrongs, he said. Why don't you put me rights, then, replied Cassandra. I didn't live in Germany just for a year, and Dad went with me, he said. Yes, and Dad went, and came back to Denmark. That was when I left, and I started working as an engineer at 32. Okay, said Cassandra, so why didn't you say that before? And no, we haven't even got on to the doing your homework bit. But if you are talking to somebody new online, do look at what they're saying. Does it even make sense? I'm sorry, he said. My bad. I hope you're free to talk, for I'm already enjoying my time with you. I'm chopping vegetables to go in my slow cooker, said Cassandra. Oh, that's have, he said. I wish I'm there with you, so I go chopping with you just to hold on to your bag and go with you anywhere you go. LOL, exactly the sort of grammatical sentence that a 58-year-old man would write. Or maybe not. "Ha ha," said Cassandra. "Have you told me what you do?" "I'm an engineer," he said. "I work in oil rigs, and I'm currently in Turkey now for a contract. We'll be done with the contract soon, then come back to the state. What about you?" "Hold that thought. He's in Turkey." "I run the family estate," said Cassandra. "I looked after Daddy until he passed away 10 years ago. What do you do on the oil rig?" "I work with pipes and others. Well, I'm the boss here, aren't they always? And I have 10 boys in my crew working under me. And if you were on the live session that I was doing on the Sunday a few weeks ago, you'll remember this bit, because I think I said, I bet he's got several workers under him. And I'm proud of taking after Dad," he said. "You sound very senior," said Cassandra. "What kind of pipes do you work with?" "There are the boys working," he said. "Just did that, just to show you and give me time to explain." And he sent a video of 2 men working on an oil platform or an oil rig. A warning if you're not looking at the screen, the video doesn't have any sound. "I drill oil from down, down and down," he said, "fixing more pipes to the ground." "Looks like hard work," replied Cassandra. "You can see that again," he said, "and risky too." "Why is it risky?" she asked. And of course, you can ask any number of scammers that question, and none of them can actually tell you. "But I do love my job a lot, and this is my last contract I'm doing before retirement. We're on a middle of the rig." "What's a middle of the rig?" asked Cassandra. "There you go," he said. "A pic I took while landing," sending her a photograph, and I'll show you that in a minute. "I'm just making you understand everything. And I also did a video while also landing." "I'd love to see the video," said Cassandra. "How absolutely spiffing." "OK, hold on," he said. "And now we're going to start doing our homework. We're going to start by looking at that rig or platform. Here's that photo enlarged, and now I'll zoom in on that helipad. And here is that helipad, and I think you can see that it says Scarabeo 9. It's got a large yellow circle with a white H in the middle, and the helipad itself is green. So of course I googled Scarabeo 9. This is what I found. It belongs to Sapem Oil. Look closely at those photos, especially the one on the bottom right. Does that look to you like the same one that our man sent us? I went on the Sapem website, and it is the same photo that our man sent us. OK, so where is Scarabeo 9? Remember, our man told us he's in Turkey. There are lots of ship-finding websites. None of them have up-to-date information on its location. The latest known location, apparently, was recorded on the 1st of August last year, when it had just left Las Palmas in the Canaries and was heading southwest, passing West Africa. I can't find any further information, but here's a map showing Turkey and showing where the rig was and which direction it was travelling in. It seems unlikely to me that it's in Turkey, but obviously this doesn't prove that, which is why you have to keep doing your research. Our man also told Cassandra that he'd sent her a video of him coming in to land on the rig, and here it is. I can't read what it says on the helipad in that video, but let's compare those 2 helipads side by side. Discounting the colour differences, which could well be due to a different kind of camera being used, I'm sure you can see that those are not the same helipad. In fact, you can stop the video and have fun playing Spot the Difference. "Are you OK?" he asked, when Cassandra didn't immediately tell him how in awe she was of him taking a photograph as he came in to land. "Yes, thanks," she said. "Why wouldn't I be? I was watching your video." "I thought maybe you got busy or something," he said. "I've never been on a helicopter," replied Cassandra. "Always looks so frightening, one thinks." "It's really nice using a helicopter," he said. "We can do that some day, LOL. Oh, how spiffingly exciting, said Cassandra. Are you offering to take me on one? Yes, that's right, he said. We can take a trip on a helicopter to any favourite country you wish to visit. I'd so love to go to New Zealand, she said. Is that possible on a helicopter? Yes, we can, he said. Oh, golly gosh, said Cassandra. Where would we start from? Well, I'll be done with this contract, and I'll be back to the State, he said, and I will come visit you in England. Oh, what smashing fun, said Cassandra. I could ask Chapman, the housekeeper, to prepare the spare room for you. How long would it take to fly from England to New Zealand in a helicopter? Our man obviously Googled something, if only the distance between England and New Zealand, because he came back and said, that'll be about 115 hours, I guess, but not really sure about it, because I've never travelled there before. Oh, my goodness, said Cassandra, that's a frightfully long time to spend in a helicopter. There must be a better way of getting there. Couldn't we go in a helicopter after we get to New Zealand? I guess, he said. Don't worry that, for we'll know when you want to do it. Oh, I'd love to go to New Zealand, she said. Sounds such an amazing country, don't you think? Oh, yes, he said, and it will be my pleasure to be there with you. So tell me, what do you like doing when you're not busy, if you don't mind me asking? How long have you been on the oil rig that you're currently on? Asked Cassandra. I walk the dogs a lot. I spend a lot of time in the grounds, digging, pruning, mending fences. Running an estate is a lot of work. It's a 5-month contract, he said, and I've been here for 3 months now, so I guess I'll be done in less down 2 months. We used to have a head gardener many years ago, continued Cassandra, but he retired before Daddy died. There's just me and Chapman here now. What will you do when you retire? Well, he said, my plan is to find a soulmate and settle down with and never leave her side ever again. And I'm thinking of opening an engineer parts company after I get retired. Well, at least that's a change from wanting to set up a hospital. Oh, my goodness, said Cassandra. Good luck in finding a shadow. I'm not sure I'd want that. Running a business sounds like a smashing idea. Well, he said, having a copy and paste paragraph that he, needed to copy and paste, and he hadn't managed it yet, so he thought he'd do it now. I enjoy attending sporting events, going to the theatre and eating out. I love travelling, new and unknown in nature, life and people. Some of my hobbies include cooking, gardening, reading, hunting, swimming and playing golf in the summertime. I enjoy watching football and golf. I love going to the gym too. Also, I love friends and family. I'm a very sincere person who laughs easily, loves to tease and be teased, and who communicates openly and honestly. I'm exhausted just reading the list, said Cassandra. What kind of books do you like reading? Well, I do love reading any kind, as long as it's good, he said. Speak, and so many more. I so agree, said Cassandra. What would you consider to be good? I've never heard of an author called Speak. What does he or she write about? Speak, he said. It's the name of the book, not the author. Laurie House Anderson is. Oh, my goodness, said Cassandra. I've not heard of that before. Is it something I should read? What kind of book is it? Cassandra googled it, but she isn't going to show you the answer here. Yes, he added. You can read it if you want. Cassandra didn't want to. I think I might pass on that, she said. Sounds a bit too angst-making for me. OK, he said, if you say so. So tell me, what do you look up to the future, if you don't mind me asking? What does look up to the future mean? I've heard of Back to the Future, said Cassandra. I believe that was a rather funny film made several years ago. I meant, what do you seek from the future? And of course, our man had another of those copy and paste paragraphs that he just had to, copy and paste. And here it comes. Well, look into the future with hope and would like to create a relationship based on respect, understanding, trust, honesty and love. I'm seeking a relationship with longevity and not just something will end in just a blink of an eye. I have a great sense of humour and can dish it out to make a sad day enjoyable. Oh, my goodness, said Cassandra. I do like a man to have a sense of humour. I don't have any grand plans. I'm very happy living here on the estate. That's nice, he said. Honestly, I've all that it takes to be a man. I don't really need anything from my partner. Maybe in terms of circumstances there might be some kind of help from each other, helping to make things right. Please do feel free and ask me anything you wish to know about me. I would like to know more about you, because educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. That's very profound. I need to go and see how my dinner's doing, she said. I'll be back later. Okay, he said. So, you mind if we talk somewhere else? If you're looking at the screen and you've noticed that I blurred out the bottom of the last screenshot and the top of this one, that's because I got confused. If you were on the live stream, you might remember that I had several people on the go at the same time. I confused them, and I sent this scammer an answer that was meant for another one. So then Cassandra had to apologise. We got back on track when this man told Cassandra to block the other one. So tell me, he said, do you plans in getting remarried, if you don't mind me? Oh yes, he's blocked, said Cassandra, finishing the previous conversation. I can't remarry. I've never been married. Oh, really? He said. Yes, really, said Cassandra. Okay, so tell me what you seek from a man, if you don't mind me asking. I'm not seeking for a man, she said. Oh, okay, said our disappointed scammer, but it's always nice to make new friends. Our disappointed scammer had another of those copy and paste paragraphs, and so here we go again. I seek for a kind, decent, caring woman to share my life with, down-to-earth lady who'd be willing to be serious about a real relationship, intelligent, caring, loving, great sense of humour, respectful, dedicated, not violent, understanding, and not afraid to face life as it comes together, to a man who would be willing to be there for her, and I will forever treat her like the queen she is. For every woman is a blessing to a man. I'm sure you'll find someone, said Cassandra. Thank you, he replied. What do you think are the values and attributes of a good relationship? Absolutely the question you'd ask someone who's just told you that they aren't looking for a relationship. I wouldn't know, said Cassandra. You're asking the wrong person. I've never been married. You might need to find a good relationship counsellor if you have relationship issues. Oh, sorry, he said. LOL. Do you like funny jokes? Who doesn't like a joke? She said. Of course I do. Oh, okay, he said. I know what you're thinking. You can feel a copy and paste session coming on. Don't worry, he's not going to disappoint you. Well, I was closed to my dad, and I learned lots of funny jokes from him, and I bet I can make you laugh all day and night with those. I do so hope they aren't dirty jokes, said Cassandra. I really find those most unamusing, you know. Do you want some? He said. Please keep it clean in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. This is a family-friendly channel. Oh, go on then, she said. You know you want to. And so he told her a most unfamily-friendly joke. That's disgusting, said Cassandra, and I'm disgusted that you even think it's funny. Okay, he said. Today, a man knocked on my door and asked for a small donation towards the local swimming pool. I gave him a glass of water. Okay, said Cassandra, that's at least mildly amusing. Cassandra was starting to have enough of our man, so she hopped back on the internet and obviously Googled those two jokes. I was rather hoping you were going to tell me some original jokes of your father's, she said, not to copy and paste them from the internet, but whatever, I guess. What do you mean, copy it from the internet? He asked. That was a mistake, mate. You really should have just grinned and said sorry. So she showed him the results of asking Google, and she found both of those jokes. Which bit didn't you understand, by the way? She asked. Copy or internet? No, I didn't. Okay, my dad thought me lot of those are old jokes, which my dad knew, and I don't know where I heard or learnt them from. Oh, don't be ridiculous, said Cassandra. I don't like men that tell lies. I prefer honesty. It's so obvious that you copied them. So why acting like I'm one shit that will tell a lie just to be friends with a lady? Said our offended scammer. No, I didn't. You're the one that's acting like shit, she said. It would be much better to apologise like a proper man, don't you think? Rather than continuing lying like a small boy. I like a proper man. Like I said, I didn't. But if you still say I did, then I'm sorry. No, said Cassandra. I want a proper apology, not a fake one that says I'm sorry, but actually I didn't do it, because we both know you did. And like I said before, he added, now I'm an honest man who communicate openly and honestly. So, said Cassandra, a proper apology, please, like a real man, like a real honest man who really can communicate openly and honestly. Look, my dear, he said, I really didn't know about it being on the internet. Or maybe Daddy got those from there. But I really apologise if that made you think awful of me. OK? I'm so sorry, my dear friend." I guess his father had a time machine, because I very much doubt if he was using the internet when our man was supposedly a young man, learning jokes from his father. "Again," said Cassandra, "that is not a proper apology. We both know that you know very well about it being on the internet, because we both know that's where you copied them from. So would you care to try that again? Perhaps say, 'I'm sorry I lied. I couldn't remember any of my father's jokes, and I thought you wouldn't notice.' Or, 'I'm sorry I lied. I'm a total jerk. I didn't really know any jokes.'" Our man came over all contrite. "OK, I'm totally sorry. I was trying to think of the jokes Dad told me, but couldn't remember, or I thought of getting some from the internet, and I'm so sorry for being a jerk." "OK," said Cassandra, "that's better, like a real man. Can you forgive me and still be my friend? Now that you've manned up and apologised properly, yes," she said, "but please don't do it again. I'm not stupid, you know." "Yes," he said, "I won't. I'm sorry." And he sent her another photograph. And you're going to love this one, guys. I was rolling on the floor. Well, almost. I was laughing on the settee. I don't think it'll take you long to realise that he'd photoshopped a very out of proportion face onto a photograph. Obviously, I went looking for the original. I never actually found it, but I did find a YouTube video that used a grainy version of it as part of their thumbnail. And here it is. "I just took this for you," said our man. "Who's that a photo of?" asked Cassandra, because if you look at it, you'll see that the man in the photo wasn't holding a camera. "What do you mean?" he asked. "Who is the man in the photo?" she asked. "That's me on the picture, and I took it just for you. That's me, in the rig, right now." "How did you take it with no hands?" asked Cassandra. "Are you lying to me again? I did tell you that I'm not stupid. Either that isn't you, or you didn't take the photo. And if someone sends you a photo and claims they've just taken it, look at it. Does it look as if they were taking a selfie? Or can you see both hands? Was someone else taking it?" Caught out, our man replied, "No, someone from my crew did that for me. So tell me, why do you think I'm lying to you again?" "Because you said I just took that photo for you, when what you meant was my mate just took that for you. I do so prefer a man to be truthful, and not try to be impressive. It never works. You just finish up looking foolish." "I guess you misunderstood me," he said, that old scammer phrase, commonly used when they've been caught out talking rubbish. "I wasn't trying to say I did took the picture for your sake." "OK," she said. "In future, please type what you mean, not something else." "It's OK, I understand," he said, followed by, "Do you like the picture?" Another thing that scammers will often ask you when they've sent what they claim is a selfie, if you don't answer it and tell them how impressed you are. "It's a picture, yes," said Cassandra. "I'm glad you do," he said. "Can you send me a pic of you, too?" "I'm sure my picture's on here," she said. "I don't take photos of myself. I might have one more on my phone somewhere. I'm not sure," said Cassandra, who remembered that she did actually have a second profile photo. They all come from a website that makes up photos, but every so often you'll get two that look very similar. "Why don't you take pictures?" he asked. "Goodness," said Cassandra, "I remember it." When she found the photo, Chapman, the housekeeper, took it. She even made me put on makeup. Look. It looks so ridiculous. I never wear makeup. "No, you look so sweet and beautiful," he said. "That's very kind of you," she replied. "I love that smile. So charming." "That's extremely kind of you," replied Cassandra. "You're welcome," said our man. "I really must go and do something more useful," she said. "The greenhouse needs cleaning out." "Oh, I guess I'm just a useless friend," he said. "But I wish I'm there with you right now, so I do that with you, and everything else together with you." "It would be jolly useful to have help," said Cassandra. "I'm no good on ladders, even short ones, and I need to clean the inside of the greenhouse roof. I'll talk to you again later." "OK," he said. "I'll be waiting. Have a wonderful day ahead." "Hey, friend," he said later that evening. "How are you doing?" Cassandra wasn't online, and the following morning their already rocky relationship took a serious and very fast nosedive when our man said, "I guess you don't want to talk to me any more." Goodness, said Cassandra. Don't be so impatient. I just turned on the computer. Are you one of those clingy, needy people? I don't have time for all that. What do you mean? He said. So she screenshotted the bit where he said, I guess you don't want to talk to me any more. How long is it since I last turned on the computer and talked to you? I'm not one of those kids who spends their entire life glued to their phone waiting for a message. Just thought you don't want to, because you saw my last 2 messages, so that's why. Well, grow up and behave like an adult, said Cassandra. And you act like a normal woman and explain things nicely, not making me look like a fool for it. Goodbye, said Cassandra, and she ghosted him. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you realise that its main message is do your homework when someone online starts telling you what they do and where they are. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do. Please subscribe to my channel, please share the video, please comment down below, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again in another video.